Hey folks, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at question 2 of 5, isomorphic strings. The way we'll be solving this problem is by using a hash map. And basically what we're trying to do is that anytime we need to map every character in S to every character in T, and we need to make sure that the mapping that's done is valid or not. So for example, in this case, E maps to A, and then G maps to D, and then since G gets repeated here, we have the same that's repeated here as well. So even if you see here in paper, P maps to T, and when there's a second occurrence of P, there is T again. But here you see that it's not valid because O and O gets mapped to A and R, right? So how do we keep this mapping? There are many ways of doing this. You could possibly do like an index-based array, since they're all ASCII characters in this particular question, but I just want to go ahead and do it with using hash maps. So we actually need 2 hash maps. And the reason why we need 2 hash maps is because it'll become obvious in a second. Let's just create those hash maps. Character, let's call this S2T is equal to new hash map. And we do the same for T to S as well. So basically the reason why we need 2 is because we map everything that exists from S to T. Isn't that enough? But what if we see a character in T that has been used already for something else, right? So that's the reason why we need S to T and T to S as mapping as well. Awesome. So let's get started. So what are the base cases? I guess if the length is not the same, they won't be valid. So let's get the length of S dot length. This check can actually exist even before you create the hash maps. T length is equal to T dot length. If SL is not equal to TL, you just return false, right? And after that, you iterate through all of the characters in the strings that's given to us. So it'll be SL increment I, and you need to extract both the characters. So let's say char A is equal to S dot character at I, and then char B is equal to S dot character at, no, T dot character at I. Awesome, cool. So what do we need to check here? So there are 2 things that we need to check. So if S to T contains the character A, if they're not the same, you return false as in we have seen this letter before, but it is not mapping to the same thing. So you just return false. So S dot T dot get A, if it is not equal to B, you return false. Yeah, so if this if the character is in S but the mapping is not, you return false. I think we can do the same for just reverse it as well. So this will be if T to S, if it is contains B but T to S dot get B is not equal to A, then you would return false as well. So you're making sure that the other way around works as well. And if Yeah, if you make it through this, it's not returned early, you just put them in the map in the end. So this will be S to T dot put A and B, and then you reverse it from T to S. T to S and B to A. Awesome. And you need to iterate through that for the whole loop. And then once you get through the whole loop, if you haven't returned false, that means everything does map the way we want it to, and it'll return false. Okay, let's try compiling this. Oh, it contains key. Okay, let's try that again. The same, of course, it's the same here as well. All right. Ooh, okay. So let's figure out where it's returning false. And we just print out the condition here. And then let's do the same here. Where is this getting returned? And then, okay, let's try running that. It's not printing anything. Okay, so this should be returning true, but it's returning false. Why is that? And none of this is being printed, so I think this is where it's returning false. So let's try this. Okay, let's try this again. So you run. Why? Oh, wait. Ah, geez, okay. What a dummy. So basically, the default return should have been true instead of false. Okay, let's try submitting this. Yeah, okay. All right, I guess you don't have to complicate it too much sometimes. Okay, so let's talk about the space and the time complexity of the entire solution. The time complexity of the entire solution is of n, since you are iterating through everything in the list, in the string that's given to you. And then the space complexity is also of n, since you are creating new hash maps to store the mapping. Awesome. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'd really appreciate that. It would keep me motivated to make more videos.